Alright guys, I'm going to do a quick overview of a game I just played with my 5-color Stasis Orb deck. Then we'll probably go through a little deck tech or something, but first let's take a look at the hand we get. Okay, now I kind of remember this game a little better. Progentius, Mimoplasm, Avacyn. Good opening hand with Soul Ring, Jace, Chain of Vapor, 3 lands. No green source for this Birds of Paradise, but top deck a Recurring Insight, which is pretty good. So turn 2 Jace, which is good to keep. It's notable that Soul Ring is one of the best cards in this deck, and we will aggressively tutor for it turn 1 if we get a 1-drop tutor, because it's that good in this build. Land go. Land Student of Warfare go. The Student of Warfare kind of pisses me off because I can't use the Brainstorm right away. I have to bounce it because he can just immediately pay 2 next turn and kill the Jace, which would really piss me off. So we're just going to go ahead and bounce it. We're not going to not drop our Jace. This should let us Brainstorm next turn. Okay. Draw Core Haven. Still don't have a green source. Land go. Sylvan Carrot to go. Guy replays it. Plays an Urza's Power Plant, which is kind of weird. Brainstorm, Tangle Wire. Alright. Let the fun begin. So this guy can now do nothing. This guy can now do nothing. Yeah, hold on! That guy concedes because he doesn't want to play against... oh yeah, I think I made him wait like 2 minutes, and he's like, I'm not waiting to get douched out, and just leaves the game. So, concedes to Tangle Wire, not surprised. Frozen Aether, still having a very green source, Exploration sitting in my hand, Green Sun Z sitting in my hand, Sylvan Library sitting in my hand, so I got 3 dead cards, but it doesn't really matter because they're locked and I've got Jace on board. Tangle Wire triggers, Jace into, oh, I grabbed a Heuristic Study, I plopped down a Sylvan Library because I hit the command tower. Oh yeah, and I Chain of Vapored and I replayed my Tangle Wire, so it's at 4. So that turn was pretty much get more permanents out, finally get a green source out, reload the Tangle Wire so they still can't do anything. Bounce land, which is horrible. Actually, it can be actually really good, but I'm going to try to go a little slower this time. Let's see here. I wonder what's actually on top of my deck. Oh yeah, still bearing the Recurring Insects, don't need it yet. Stasis, don't need Stasis. Yeah, probably going to put it down. Or use that just to dig more with the Jace. Yeah, we hit a Strip Mine, then his Simic's gone, so he's pretty much out of the game. Drop a Heuristic Study, drop the top, kill a land. At this point, they're just totally boned. I mean, I've got Stasis and a Seal. I don't even know how I decided to finish this game, but it really doesn't even matter. They're so far behind, they've already lost. So how long until we can play this game too, or will you... Yeah, this game will just be me. Then I say something about it being a really good hand because I had a Soul Ring, so that he doesn't block me, so I can own him again later. This guy doesn't quit yet, and I think I sealed the deal with Crucible rolls off the seal with Jace. I thought about doing the Insight, and then I think I'm like, well, he'll concede if I drop a Crucible of Worlds. Yeah, hold on! And that happens every time I play. Let's see here. So, quick game. Let's see if I can get, did I play this game? I want to say this game I played. True. No, I played Doomsday. Maybe I did play Stasis this game. Hold on! God, I hate that shit. Yep. Opening hand, we get a Seedborn Muse, pretty much Nature's Claim and a Crucible. We're fine with this. Someone else is playing Slivers, which normally I don't like, but this ends up being a hilarious game because of it, I think. This is one of those games where the deck just did not do well at all. This is one of the worst hands I think I've had in a while. I think I just completely and totally, like, don't draw into any draw spells all game and, like, never hit anything relevant and just keep drawing lands. And then somehow still win because Sliver Queen's pretty good. Drop out the Prophet. Baneslayer Angel. What's this guy playing? Nothing relevant. This guy I think is just really bad. I think he banishing stroked his general too, so I think he like doesn't have anything. And Nature's Claim is wild pair. Oracle will die. I think the mono white guy was actually gonna dumpster us, but he like disconnects or something, which was really sad. Plays a sliver thing. Valzeric. Can you lose another bit? Yeah, Angel. I think this guy bounces it though, and I get my Valzeric back. Or he, I forget what he does to it. He does something to get rid of it. Not until he loses. Oh yeah, he Mystifying Mazes it. I've been sitting on Core Haven all game, so no one's attacked me. Goes and gets a Regal Force. That guy concedes, at which point I can now start spamming slivers with Sliver Queen. And this guy hilariously plays a Firewake Sliver, so we're going to go for a one-shot on Dragon Wiz. With the Sliver Queen, and he's like pissed about it, I think. Oh yeah, he has the Mystifying Maze, but I Valzeric his land and kill his mobilization. He realizes he doesn't have enough mana to Mystifying Maze me, and then I start making slivers. I have gonna lethal him, and so he just concedes. And then, yeah, this guy doesn't have anything, so he just loses. That was a really bad game. Let's see if there's another one. That was Doomsday. Was this Doomsday? I think this was a 2 vs 2 commander with stacks. Okay. Yeah, Azusa, Tanglewire, Wheel of Fortune, Mystical Tutor, Brainstorm. God, now this is a hand I like. 2 lands is not bad here. I think I play last, but I'm going to open Brainstorm probably. I don't think I popped the Mystical Tutor. Oh, I did. What did I get? Demonic Tutor. Oh, yeah, Soul Ring. Well, I do that a lot. I don't know why I kept the Brainstorm. Probably should have Brainstormed. This is fine, though. Go get Soul Ring. Yep. And probably just drop Tanglewire. No, drop Azusa. Drop Azusa so I can go Gilded Lotus Tanglewire. Okay, now I remember this game. Chaos Warp. My ally is actually playing a really good deck to be playing with me, and he's just a random dude. It's just like a Tower and Cantrip deck. I actually misplay at the end of this game and then top deck something that makes the guy concede, which was really hilarious. And I realized I misplayed like right afterwards. Tanglewire, Gilded Lotus. Okay. So they're not going to be able to do much of anything now. I'm not really worried about this guy's permission anymore. The Urtai actually becomes a problem because you can't counter the triggered ability with just a regular counter. I think here with the Worldly Tutor and the Wheel of Fortune, I'm going to get something I can dump into play and then pop my wheel. Let's see what I do here. Oh, Goblin Welder, that's right. Goblin Welder is insane in this deck. This deck plays like 3 red cards, and Vandal Blast isn't even really anything spectacular. Really, you just play. You want red because Sliver Queen is better than anything. Is way better than Reaper King, and you do want at least 4 colors. And Goblin Welder and Wheel of Fortune are just worth playing an extra color, just 2 cards. Welder's just insanely good. I think my ally should have been this Coat of Arms, and I think he doesn't, because I would have welded it into play for free. Instead, he bends like other shit that he shouldn't have. Yeah, he like plays Tasabo's Web, which doesn't make any sense to me. Ideas and Bend's a really good card, by the way. But he plays the Web, but instead of bending like the fuck any gushes, that was really weird. I guess it wasn't a horrible play, but he should have bend this Coat of Arms here, and I would have welded it into play on my turn for him for free, but I don't know why he didn't. I think I mentioned it afterwards, like, hey, bend that fucking Coat of Arms, and I think the next turn he just casts it anyway, instead of bending it, but whatever. If I actually had an artifact here in my yard, I could just start welding this Tanglewire in and out of play. Where's my hand? Chain of Vapor, Velican, Mastermind, and Light Tutor. So that's probably going to go get Stasis. And then I've got Mastermind Lock. And I think I'm supposed to bounce this Wizard Adept first because he can't counterspell the fucking triggered ability, but I'm being a big dum-dum, and I think I just walk right into it here. Let's see, is he at 4? No, Tangle Water's going to hit him for 3. He's going to tap that. And he'll make a land drop. So have enough for the Urtai. So then he oblations the dude's general. Got mental missteps to Path to Exile my welder. Guy thinks about countering it but doesn't. Think I go get Stasis on upkeep probably? Yep. Go get Stasis. Come on. Draw Stasis. I think I just run this Stasis right into the fucking Urtai instead of bouncing with Chain of Vapor first because I'm a big dum-dum. Oh, Garuk first. Untap 2. Okay! Should have popped Chain of Vapor on this Urtai, but he's counter Stasis. So instead I'm like, well, guess I'll preordain, and then I'm like, oh, a Static Orb. And then I think they concede. Because they're like, oh, a Static Orb. Fairly certain they concede to the Static Orb. No, they concede to his coat of arms after the Static Orb. I'm expecting him to let me weld this coat of arms back in, I think. But he just hard casts it and they quit. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Yeah. Let's see if I can find a better game. Those games weren't very interesting. Usually when I play 2-player, I'm playing the Stasis Orb deck. I'm usually not a complete dick playing Doomsday. This looks like Doomsday. Yeah. This is definitely Doomsday. Dark Confidant. Yeah. Is this turn 4 kill? Nope, turn 5 kill. This is pretty slow. Yay. Let's see here. Stasis. What's this one? No, that was Doomsday anyway. Okay. Let's go to our deck here. If you look at the mana curve, it looks actually like a mana curve. High at the 3 drops. But let's go over some of the individual cards. First, we're going to talk about the lands a little bit. Volas Stronghold and Academy Ruins are really good at recurring things. We play very few creatures, but they're all really important. Notice I'll play Green Sun Zenith and World Tour, despite only playing 10 creatures in the entire deck when most people usually don't care for these cards. But when you open a Crucible of Worlds or you open, Fabricate to get one or something like that, you can open a Zuza combo with this deck and just ramp out like 15 lands by turn 5 or 6. And then instead of using that to instant win off Tooth and Nail, instead you'll just pop Asunder so no one else has any and replay them all. Or, you will just be using that engine to get lands into play with Winter Orb. What the fuck is Winter Orb? Slam down on the board here. I wonder if I can get around this. Yep. I think this program lets me. God damn it. Like if you have a Stasis, any of those type effects, you can just slam down lands so you can still tap for mana. Oracle's really good to this effect. I play Exploration. I pretty much max this effect because it's so good. Kismet and Frozen Aether make Stasis and War hard locks because people can't even get mana out of their hands. The reason we play stuff like Mox Diamond and the reason we like these really cheap cards and these accelerators is because we play as many draw 7s as we can. If I had Time Twister on here, I would play it. Windfall, Wheel of Fortune, Time Spiral, they're all really, really good here. As well as Recurring Insight, because this deck will drop these cards very, very quick. A lot of them have card disadvantage. You'll be bouncing your own stuff. You can really puke your hand incredibly, incredibly fast. So just like most of the other decks I like to play, they're very combo oriented. You can puke your hand and then refill to get massive card advantage. And in this case, just lock the shit out of the board. Static Orb's an interesting card. It kind of fills the role that Winter Orb and Stasis do. but not quite as well in my opinion. Sometimes it's marginally better, but not very often. You can use Tezzeret to go grab them and then have an engine to untap. Things like, where's some of the other planeswalkers here? Garruk Wildspeaker, you saw Jace Mind Sculptor in action, and Ral Zarek. These three guys underneath an orb are incredibly, incredibly nasty. They just let you just keep playing. Seaborn Muse and Prophet, pretty much the same damn thing. If you get, hands where you can just lock someone down with a warb or, tutor into a warb, then you can just lay down the Seaborn Muse and start going to town. And at the very worst, since we're playing Sliver Queens, you saw that one game where we were just getting stomped by a fucking mono white deck. Has some really good synergy here because this is only 5 mana to play, and you can just puke tokens every turn. And then I really like it with Garruk Wildspeaker, because then it's like flash my general in off of this, or just play my general after playing Seaborn Muse, and just make tons of tokens in one round where everyone's locked out with like fucking Winter Orb, and then I just pump my Garruk and kill 2 players. Pretty good stuff. Pretty much any of these planeswalkers that can really do something while the game is slowed down to a crawl and just consistently get you advantage is really good. Things like Rhystic Study that I normally don't like that much are incredibly, incredibly good because no one can even pay one when you're playing a deck like this if things are going right. Things like Collective Restraint, since we were in 5 colors. Sometimes before you can get a lockdown, creatures can easily slide in. I think I've actually cut every hard wrath in this deck, and I play just Evacuation and Cyclonic Rift, I think. Yeah. You don't really need the hard wrath, because as long as you can slam down a lock piece, you can just bounce back your hand. In fact, things like Sunder are actually better than Armageddon in this deck, because for Armageddon to actually be good, I need to get this. Either that, or I need to have this, and this, and this. Like Mana Rocks, or Crucible, or Life from Loam. There's lots of ways to make it to my advantage to pop this Armageddon, but there's even more ways to the Sunder. You can, get a Azusa, Oracle, or Exploration down before you pop your Sunder, and you just replay your lands back out, and they're back to square one. If you have something like Kismet or Frozen Aether, their lands are coming to play tapped, and you're playing 3 a turn. Maybe you pull this out next, and then your next tutor doesn't even have to be something good. You can just go get a Strip Mine, but you probably wouldn't. Maybe you go get a Draw 7 or something of that nature. I think the last game I played, I had a Sun Titan out, and I had like tons of fetches, and I think I like cracked Sunder, and I put like 3 fetch land triggers underneath the Sunder, and I had a Soul Ring out that I tutored turn 1 with an Imperial Seal, so it was like I sundered them all back to nothing, and I had my 1 broken Mana Rock, but I got like 3 free lands plus my land drop after, so I was like at 6, and they were all at nothing. Sunder is just really, really fucking good. Plus it's an instant. I really like Sunder here. There'll be a lot of games where you're like open with something like Tangle Wire, or you're open with like Winter Orb, but you don't really have a way to like, or Static Orb or something, you don't really have a way to close your lock. You just have like 1 piece. And what you could do is so you can just follow up with it, or you can do a Sunder and turn like a early game soft lock where they couldn't really get anything underneath you into a late game hard lock, and then finish out with something else. Pernicious D is an interesting card to be playing in this deck, you would think, because it has so many lock pieces and whatnot, but I wanted a Wrath that actually killed things, and I preferred that it actually killed everything. Pernicious D is probably my favorite Wrath in the entire game, at least for EDH. One of my favorite cards in general. I just really like Pernicious Deed. Standard Mana Rocks. The big Mana Rocks are actually really good here. In a lot of decks, you'll see like a more combo-oriented deck. You want your ramp to be lower on the curve because you're trying to curve into some kind of kill. But in a deck like this, where you only get to untap 1 thing, or you're tapping 4 or 5 things, or you should be able to play one of these nasty 3-drops behind it. Gil's Lotus just fits the curve so nice. Thran Dynamo does too, just because it's a 4. What else? I don't know. Belvican Mastermind lock piece, Capsize lock piece. Things like Chain of Vapor are the best removal in this deck because you're keeping the land so light and because you 9 times out of 10 just bounce your own shit. But the real reason this flows is because there's tons of tutors. If you're in my 1-drop section, it is littered with tutors and card quality and cheap removal and pretty much ways to make the deck flow. Yawgmoth's is really good here because we play so many programs and we get so much damn mana that you can, and we wheel things away and windfall things away. I mean, there's usually a big fat juicy graveyard, and Yawg like in this deck, it's just really fucking good. It's Yawgwind just like it is in most decks. I wonder if I have any other games. I probably should have picked some games up beforehand, but I just downloaded this program here. Wow, that is a big ass file, and I was just testing it. So yeah, I killed this guy with his own slivers. That was pretty funny that he played this. I don't even know why he did that. People who play slivers that are actually slivers. Since I've got you here, let's see, what game is this? Did I play? Oh no, this is Doomsday. Turn 1 Inquisition. I've got a Gush, a Vamp, Tutor, an Impulse, and a Predict. Well, let's see what I top deck. Probe. If I had Dark Ritual or Doomsday or an LED, this would be over. Oh wow. Wow, that's top deck Doomsday. Well then this is gonna be But I don't have a land. Brainstorm. Well, this is going to be Brainstorm. Hope to find a land. Yep. And I've got ideas. Let's see here. No Gixin Probe. 2 blue sources, a black source. Vamp Tutor for Dark Ritual into Doomsday. Gush into Ideas Unbound into 4 cards in the hand with an empty library. Play Lab Man with Mana Crypt and Lotus Petal. This is a really easy pile. They're dead next turn. This deck is much easier to fucking understand. Cast Doomsday, kill everyone. That guy, Doomblades, that guy's Enchantress and loses everyone the game because, actually no, because I have 4 cards. This hand's actually good enough because I only got the pro I had, and I could have piled a Pact to get through this, and I could have put the Ideas Unbound on top so that even if he countered the Gush, I could still probe into it, so no matter what, I could probably win with this hand, but now that everyone's tapped out, this is just free win, but I'll show you since we're here. Dark Ritual, Doomsday, probably Gush first, yeah, Cantrips and Ideas Unbound. Why'd I pile like that? Okay, I didn't pile it like that, thank God. Cantrip into Ideas Unbound. Oh yeah, we didn't even play land for turn. I should have grabbed a counterspell just for good practice. Oh man, a little tired. Let's see if I can find another orb game. What's this one? Shake and Bake. Well, for the 2-man, I probably played orb. Wow, I've been playing Doomsday in 2-man, so I'm such a dick. Why am I doing that? Mana, no tutor. Oh no, I have a Perplex. Perplex goes and gets Doomsday. Holding Force of Will, Swan Song, Counterspell, Rain of Filth, and Cabal Ritual. That card's no good. Alright, what's my pile here? Oh, I don't have triple black. Yes, I do. Cabal Ritual. Oh, I don't have a cantrip, so I can't go off. That sucks. Oh, I can't Cabal Ritual into Recurring Insight because it's not online yet. This is a slow fucking hand. Counterspell that guy's thing just because I can. I'm never going to use it for anything else. Might as well go through some Doomsday while we're talking about my Stasis Orb deck, right? No. No cantrip, Jesus. Do I Cabal Ritual into the inside this turn? Yes, I do. Wow. Still no fucking cantrip. What the balls? Things before I took Grim Monolith out of my deck and something else, and I added 2 cantrips. I think I played this game and I was like, I didn't hit a cantrip. Something's wrong. I'm adding more cantrips. Dark Ritual Doomsday and can't go off. That is so bad. I think I rebound and still don't hit a fucking cantrip. No, I do a hit impulse. Game over. Maybe we'll all just quit. Yeah. Obscenely amount of mana. Okay, turn 6. That is, what's his name? Donald. I lose to him quite often. He's actually pretty good. Fucker games. I want something where I'm playing my Stasis Orb deck. One-on-ones are gonna be fucking Doomsday every time. Dude, look, Moxix just always wins. Wait, where's this? This guy's good. He's on my friends list. He likes to play more Morvig. But if I'm playing against him, I'd probably play Doomsday and not. You, Dark Ritual, opening hand, Gush, opening hand, Deathrite Shaman, opening hand. Alright, well that's enough. I haven't found any more Stasis games, and this has gotten to a massive file size, so we'll shoot some more later. Hope you enjoyed it, even though I feel like it wasn't very good.